Hello everybody, a little bit of a throwback today. It's been a while since I've been checking out some of this stuff. We're going to be looking at League. Now there's some cinematics that I've missed. The last League reaction that I did way back when, it was middle of May, technically, really around about April with the Here Tomorrow cinematic. Now, 3 things I want to check out. Beginning of the End, which is quite a short cinematic, the story so far, and then Twilight's End. Those are the main focuses today, is those 3. And then you guys can fill me in on any lore and stuff from the comics in the comments. Let's get on with it, shall we? Let's start with Beginning of the End. Here we go. Ooh. Is that to represent Ionia? Or are we still Noxus here? Soldiers, okay. It's like a little mini trailer, it's like a teaser. Xinjiao looks middle-aged, finally. LeBlanc is manipulating him by sending him a vision. Ooh. I love how you can see LeBlanc's face in the final shot, can you? Just before it goes to him, can you? Oh yes, of course you can, look! Oh, that's clever. Ooh, okay, right, now let's go to the story so far, because I think this might recap over everything. Okay. I forgot how much I was enjoying the League stuff, actually. This is good, I like this.
Every new path seems to lead us closer to chaos.
Piltover was a lesson. Calamity is always approaching.
Perhaps we should focus on the opportunity that's washed up on our shores.
Besides, you have no host. Unforeseen turns are simply part of any path. Our next move must be bolder.
My name is Xinjiao, Seneschal of Demacia. This sapling bloomed in the royal gardens, where none should grow. Its presence gave me no peace. So after 30 years, I have returned to the lands of my birth, seeking answers.
You know the tale of the devoted shrine maiden, Xinjiao. You should hear the story behind it.
Leaderless and lost, war between the Darkin became inevitable. Ionia was just another battleground among many. Some of us prayed to the shrine spirits for deliverance, and that was when he came to us. His name was Zehen. When the war was over, we returned in victory. But something had changed in Zehen. He could feel his humanity ebbing away, and feared what he might eventually become capable of. And so he asked to be bound like the others.
If you crave freedom, Artican, then tell me where the darkened weapon lies.
The first lands.
Ionia is but a doorway.
I have done your bidding.
You know, what has happened?
He says he experienced a dark vision.
I saw Demacia in ruins.
Someone knows the truth. They mean to free Zehen.
Now we're going to run into Twilight's End. Okay, let me just see if there's anything in the comments that's important. So many Necrit. It's so funny how you will always see a Necrit comment in any video. Can't wait for a 2-hour breakdown from Necrit. Yeah, I love the look of this as well. I like the blending of those two styles. It's very cool. Shall we get into it? Here is Twilight's End, the 2025 Season 3 cinematic from League of Legends. It's been out 2-3 days at this point. It's on 18 million views. So, lovely stuff. Right, come on. I've gone full screen for this.
You do not belong here, Seneschal. Mortals should not meddle with the power of gods.
Is that what you are? Gods?
I am not your answer. Only evil deferred.
Evil does not relinquish power. You must have known you could not hide forever.
No one returns from beyond the veil.
Seen beyond the veil. Watched as the spirit of the First Lands roared to life.
Oh, this is so stunning.
Only to see it all burned away in an instant. Fallen, and the temple's defenses are destroyed. There is no one left. Your power will darken the world, with or without your permission.
You know not what you ask.
I know exactly what I ask. You sacrificed everything to save this world once. Let me do the same. I cannot hold him.
Who's that?
Even demons can be undone.
Yeah, someone just said, holy animation, 40 don't miss. I agree. Holy shit. Yeah, the 40 stars just unmatched. Right, there's a Necrit vid, and it's about 13 minutes long, but we're going to have to watch this now because I need to know what that all meant. So what I want to know is, did he die? Was that his death that we just saw there? Alright, let's see what Necrit has to say, shall we?
Hey Fortiche, would you like to stop killing champions for once? So yes, hello, this is Necrit, reporting in from China. If you'd like to see what the trip looks like, it kind of looks like this.
Oh.
This is the experience. Now, of course, we are here for Worlds, but in the middle of this, Riot decided to drop a cinematic, which makes
I
sense.
just realised I've got the world's opening opening ceremony to look at. I'll do that in a minute.
It is lining up with the Worlds, but we got to see it 2 hours before everyone else in a preview. Of course, to avoid leaks, which leaks didn't happen. Right? Nobody was able to record the screen, but I was able to record my reaction. Now, since most of the reaction is just me watching the fight, it's not that crazy, but the reaction to the one key moment of the cinematic is quite funny. So before we dive into the lore, which means that yes, I am on my hotel doing a lore breakdown, I do also want to quickly show you the reaction. So here we go. Okay, that's cool.
So is it his death that we witnessed there? Is that what we're seeing?
You know what? That's pretty cool. What? God damn, okay, that's cool. That's just weird. Look, he's really handsome. Yeah, he's dead.
That is right.
I mean, So Xin Zhao dead. They killed Xin Zhao. He picked up the spear. Zahen took over him. Xin Zhao's gone. He just killed him.
Oh, okay. So he is
Xin
gone.
Zhao still has a story to go, so LeBlanc is gonna copy him and fake Xin Zhao. And that was the reaction, and so now, because a lot of people got confused by the cinematic, you didn't follow the lore, I guess. Let's talk about what actually happened.
I'm sorry, Necrit.
So, the cinematic begins in the Trials of Twilight. This is the place where Xin Zhao and Yunara jumped into at the end of their comic. Now, to be specific, the cinematic begins with the end of this cinematic. Fortiche did this so that they can play you the conversation as the action is happening. So, throughout the entire cinematic, Zahen and Xin Zhao are talking to each other from the end. And so, of course, it starts with Zahen saying that Xin Zhao doesn't belong here. And that is because, as you'll see later, we are inside the glaive. But more importantly, there is a really key line to focus on. Zahen says that mortals should not meddle with the power of the gods. Of course, this confused Xin Zhao a little bit, and he asked if he is actually a god. And Zahen answered in the best way. He said that he is not his answer. And that is because Zahen or any of the Darkin are not gods. However, they became the Darkin after they got twisted from being ascended, with the ascended being mortals transformed with the power of the Sun Disk, with the Sun Disk getting its power from the Celestials. So technically, it was the ascended, or in other words, Zahen, who meddled with the power of the gods. And he was just telling Xin Zhao, don't do that. But after this, we can see that Xin Zhao and Yunara passed the Trial of Twilight, which again, you can see that in the comic before, which leads them into the Temple of Twilight. This is the place where Zahen was originally banished. That is after he was put inside his glaive. And in this shot, you can see that Atakan already grabbed Zahen's glaive, with Zahen, once again, being banished inside it. Now, around this time is when Zahen also mentioned that he is not a god. He is just evil deferred. Or in other words, he was a soon-to-be Darkin that was banished to prevent himself from destroying the world. Which is when LeBlanc pops on the screen, and it is obvious that she has been behind all of this the entire time. And that's when Xin Zhao and Yunara start their big fight with Atakan. Now, during this fight, we do get a lot of different lore drops. For example, during the conversation between Xinzhao and Zahen, they mentioned that Zahen must have known that he would not be sealed forever. But he replied that no one returns from beyond the veil. By this, he is referencing the spirit realm. And should nobody interfere, he would just stay locked in there. But Xinzhao mentions he has seen beyond the veil, by which I assume he is referencing the trial, as well as Ionians using spiritual magic to speed up life. But since this conversation is technically happening in the future, he could also be talking about what just happened here with Atakan. Because he talks about how he has seen the spirit of Ionia awaken and then it being snuffed out, which would likely reference Atakan. But during this conversation, as our heroes are successful in fighting Atakan, LeBlanc steps in. And you can immediately see how the petricite of Xinzhao's spear starts absorbing her magic. This is a really cool detail, and that is one of the key points that was mentioned in the previous comics. Demacian steel, made out of petricite, is really good at fighting magic. After this, we get a lot of cool cinematic fighting, with Xinzhao waving his spear and dancing, kinda like he does in-game. After which, LeBlanc stuns Yunara, referencing the game, and that only leaves Xinzhao locked in a battle with Atakan. It doesn't take long, and Xinzhao gets stabbed by Atakan, and Yunara is the one who has to save him with her last strength. And that is where we hear a key line. Once again, remember that this conversation is technically happening a few seconds in the future, but it is also relating to what is happening here, where Xinzhao mentions that there is no one left. What he's saying that there is simply no one left to stop Atakan or LeBlanc. There is no one to hold the glaive. And so he had to do the only thing that was possible.
Sacrifice.
Grab the glaive. Of course, when a mortal grabs a Darkin weapon, the Darkin gains the ability to take over their body. Which is why, in the next scene, we get inside the glaive. This is technically Zahen's world. Now here, Xinzhao tells Zahen that be it with or without his permission, he would darken the world. And that is simply because, once corrupted, all ascended will become the Darkin eventually. So again, Xinzhao came here with an offer to stop it. This is of course followed by Zahen telling him that he has no idea what he's asking for. By this, he's referencing that to pick up the glaive, Xinzhao would have to sacrifice himself. This line is important to Zahen because this is what he has done in the past too. He willingly locked himself away to prevent himself from harming the world. And so now Xinzhao is asking to do the same, except permanently. And that's where the cinematic shows us Zahen's human form. Which, funnily enough, this is the fourth version of Zahen we have seen. Now, of course, all of you should know that all the Darkin used to be Ascended, and all Ascended used to be mortals. And so, once we got into Zahen's weapon, we got to see Zahen's pure soul, which would be his original human form. If you go back to the very cinematic, you can see the same thing happening there. Once they dropped into the well, they saw that the Darkin looked like a human, because they used to be human, which also means that technically, yes, both Nasus and Renekton looked like that. They were all Shrimans, but that's where Xinzhao admits that he can't hold him back, by which he's referencing Atakan, who picked up the glaive first. And so, Xinzhao leaned the weapon towards Zahen to offer it to him, at which point Zahen knew what to do. You see, without a physical body, Zahen would likely be taken over by Atakan. This is likely because Atakan is a demon, and no demon has ever picked up a Darkin weapon. So far, it was only mortals, and mortals are kinda easy to dominate. Dominating a demon might be a whole different challenge. And especially in this case, Zahen didn't have a physical body to fight back. He didn't have a way to destroy Atakan, which is where this beautiful moment happens. And I'll be honest, this might be one of the most cinematic moments in League's history. That is, counting certain scenes from Arcane. Which makes sense because all of this is animated by Fortiche anyway. Now here you can see that Zahen actually looks sad. This is because, to protect the world once more, he has to destroy the soul of a worthy warrior. one that already passed the trials of Twilight. And so, Zahen does exactly that. He destroys Xinjiao's body and his soul, he annihilates Atakan, and dispels LeBlanc's clone. As to what is gonna be happening with Zahen after this, we actually have no idea. Will he leave the spirit realm? Maybe, but he can also just stay in there. But all of that is then followed by one massive plot twist. Because next we get the reveal for why LeBlanc wanted to get the weapon in the first place. Here we can see LeBlanc and Vladimir looking at the shackling helmet of Atakan crumbling, meaning that Atakan is dead. So yes, he can be potentially removed from the game, I guess. But LeBlanc is really happy about that. She is happy to see that demons can be killed. Because of course, she wants to kill Swain's demon. This is referenced by Swain's raven on the wall. And all of that is the case because Swain is the one who is constantly meddling with LeBlanc's plans. He is currently her best rival. He is the one who is constantly unrooting members of the Black Rose and killing them anywhere he finds them. Of course, he doesn't know that technically LeBlanc is doing all of that to protect the world from Mordekaiser, as well as to get some power for herself. But to achieve her goals, LeBlanc actually needs to remove Swain first. And now she knows that the Darkin can do that. The Darkin do have the power to kill demons, which is why she really wanted to get a Darkin weapon. I mean, it's kinda obvious that the Darkin can do that. I mean, Aatrox literally killed a celestial god. But now as to what is the thing on the left on the wall, I actually have no idea. It kinda looks like a tower that's falling, which could be like a Noxian tower or a Demacian tower. Maybe it's like an Ionian something. But there also does seem to be the glaive below it, so I actually have no idea. But now, with all of this said, we also have to tackle Zahen's real appearance, which is the Squidward, which doesn't actually look that much like a Squidward in the cinematic. We'll see if that changes in the game. But I do appreciate how Zahen kept Xinjiao's face. Because under normal circumstances, the Darkin just obliterate the body and take over it. Here, Zahen is almost respectful to the body, and he just kept it. But he still had to destroy Xinjiao, which technically means that is our second champion that is canonically dead, confirming that the Summoner's Rift is kinda Super Smash Bros. And I like it that way. But with this beautiful ending to the story of 2025, it also does mean one thing. Pew was kinda right. 2025 did change League forever.
Okay. I mean, I think I get it. Xin Zhao is dead. He sacrificed himself so that Zahan could kill Atakan. LeBlanc's happy about it because now she knows that demons can be killed because that's what she wants Swain's demon to be killed. Did I get it? Did anyone know if I got it? Regarding the cinematic, let's just leave Necrit just for a second. Let's just go back to the cinematic here. I mean, Fortiche, good God. I mean, they know how to make some animation. Look at this, man. I mean, it's just stunning. I would adore a show around Noxus, Ionia, any of those spaces. The cinematics are beautiful, and I think it's great they're doing this almost like the web series that they do, right? In terms of putting out these little things, but to make a full TV show again, I'd adore it. I think it would be great, and I really hope that they would consider working on something like that. Because I mean, look at this, man. Fortiche are just phenomenal, aren't they? Really. Wow. Okay. I mean, I think I've got it. If there's anything I didn't get, or there's anything you think that needs to be added for me to understand things and be able to keep up to date, comment it below. Do me the favour. Comment below. Let me know some little things here and there, and I'll be sure to read as many as I can. If you did enjoy this, do give it a thumbs up. Always helps me out. Subscribe, put notifications on. That way you won't miss anything. And I'll see you very soon. I'll be back with some Ted Lasso. Take very good care of yourself. Go and watch some more Fortiche animation, because why not? And it's almost actually, it's been, what is it, really 4 years since Arcane first came out, right? It came out in November 4 years ago. So happy birthday to Arcane as well. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.